Good morning. Another ride, another day, another dollar. On the bed here, there's the dogs. This is Jape. You can tell by the scars on his face. He knows a little bit already. That's Dixie. She's the bluest, bloodest border collie you'll ever run into, but she doesn't know a thing. This is her first trip to go with the boys, and we hope she actually does go with us. Moving through the animals. This is Thor. Thor is as good as they come. I've got a mule halter on him today that a guy in Montana builds for me, just because he gets a little sluggish when he wants grass and he's towing somebody out. This is the old Teskey's Renegade saddle that has been tore up, rebuilt, put together. We just don't do anything but the finest leather work around here. Actually, we're building a leather shop. All of our tack is in, it's like having a parking lot full of 40 cars that all need a little something done with them. Generally, when I had my tack room before, or my leather shop before, anything broke, we fixed it and we were good to go. But we have just been pasting together. We're building a new tack shed and a new leather shop. And the new leather shop is going to be state of the art, if there is such a thing for leather shops, because they're kind of antiquated as an institution. But anyway, we can have a good leather shop, everything else. Spin around here, show Zachary. This is Captain Redbeard.
Hey, how you doing?
If he can't do it, you don't need it done, because at the end of the day, he is the end of the day, and only he and I know what that means. He is the final chapter in everybody's life. Smile and say, see you soon.
See you soon.
Okay, coming right through here. This is Rodman, and the reason he's named Rodman is when he was born, he was pitch black with a white mane and tail. And we had never seen a mule born black with a white mane and tail. And the guy that we sold him to, he says, I know something that's black with white mane and tail. And I said, what's that? He says, Dennis Rodman. It's right after Dennis Rodman, who's a black man, had his hair bleached completely white. And I said, well, that works fine for the mane, but I says, I'm pretty sure you don't know what color his tail is. I don't know if they want to hear that. In this day and age, they probably call it racist to note that a black man had white hair. I don't know. He is black. That ain't racist. And he did have white hair. That ain't racist. He made friends with Kim Jong-un. And that right there is a sin. This is Foxtrotter. He's a little tiny guy, but he can move pretty good. Work ethic bad, doesn't load in trailers bad. Feet are a wreck. We're fixing his feet. But he has the temperament that would make a great family horse. Great for kids and everything else. This horse you've seen before. Told you we were gonna fix his feet, we did. Told you we were gonna put him on better feed, we did. Told him we were gonna put him to work, we did. This horse last weekend did the Antelope Island ride chasing buffalo, and I'm not gonna say he was a superstar, but he completed, and that's a long, you know, the way we do it, that's a hard day. The way most of the people that go there do it, it's just a ride in the park and they follow the tracks of a herd of buffalo. But we actually go out and find them and try and get them rounded up when it's possible. And anyway, this guy had a hard day and he showed up really good. The other day before that, I took him into a high mountain lake where the ice was already on the lake to look at the trout situation. We're talking 11,000 feet. And we left almost at dark and we got back in the pitch dark. And I had a guest with me who, 73, maybe, year old lady. She's not a ninny. I'm not saying, you know, she was dead weight. She's a great rider. She was on scout. And so, you know, he's going to get her where she needs to go. But this horse, that was his first time out of a flat land paddock in southern Nevada in his life, probably, but certainly in years and years. And when I got on him, I said to myself, this is the worst horse I've ever been on. He could not hit a lick. He could not find a gate. He could not, there just was no end of my criticisms. By the end of the ride, I was quite pleased with him, and I got him to actually find a gait and groove to it and start to move. And on this last ride, the kid that rode him is the kid behind this camera right now, and he just told me today, he says, I really enjoyed that horse. He's got a good gait and I enjoyed it. So it just shows you what can happen to a throwaway horse that you just don't see any future in. I can't tell you how many times I've seen him just come clear around till everybody says that's my favorite horse. So it takes some effort and some knowledge and some work, but you get their feet right, and then you get them collected, and then you get them pushing out at a gate, and then you find out whatever nature what put in there, and you have a horse, and then it serves somebody's needs for a long time, because nothing in this world is as wonderful as being on a good horse in new country. That's a fact. Well, in my opinion. Today we're going up that canyon. You can't see it. There is a canyon over there. In fact, there's a whole bunch of canyons over there. And we should see some awesome fall color and get some really good footing. And we're gonna teach that blue mule to pull. Thor's gonna do what he always does, and these two animals are gonna learn what it is to hit a lick and hang on to it for about 20 miles. Come along. What's that? Okay, I'm gonna introduce you to Mary here. You may have seen her before. Mary was born on my property. She's a purebred Icelandic. Mother was imported, dad was imported. Someday if somebody wants to hear that story, I'll tell you that story. But because of this horse's dad and the horses we imported, I bet you there's 200 horses now in Utah that have been affected by that one import. He was that good. Those of you who have seen Scout, the mighty Scout, they call him all the time, our Icelandic stallion. I don't know how many wagers he's won, how many myths he has dispelled, but what a fantastic horse. But think about this for my little girl. This is my little girl, Mara. She has a horse here. Step back here, and where you can see her. Hold her at the side so they can see the conformation. Make you stand. That mare is built so strong and so powerfully. She is the same size as that horse over there, from here to there. But as you notice, the cannon bone is only about 6 inches long. Her feet are hard and flinty. They hold up in this country well. She goes barefoot. She has the temperament of maybe a tortoise, but she'll trot out and stay up with any of these horses. So when you're building horses for kids, especially family horses, a horse that will keep up is wonderful, but oftentimes they're too hot, and so the kid doesn't have a good time. A horse that is safe is wonderful, but often they're too slow, and so the kid doesn't have a good time because he's always kicking, and then when they trot hard. One of the biggest dilemmas you have in making kid horses is kid horses are small. You get a Shetland or a Mini or something like that. If the horse misbehaves, the dad or the wrangler there can't get on and fix it because the thing's too tiny. So they're always little. That's why you know Shetlands get such a terrible reputation. It's because they're always snotty and they get away with stuff and the kid can't stop because the kid doesn't have the experience. It's a real problem. So the key, in my opinion, after a lifetime of doing it, make sure all the horses you get for your kids are big enough that a man or a wrangler or a good experienced person can get on there and fix it and then give it back to the kid, and the kid can have a good experience. And so as the kid's skill level comes up, the horse's skill level comes up together. You get little tiny horses, you just can't do that. I don't mean to slam it to the Shetlands and Minis, but they're great on carts. They're often very difficult to get good for kid horses. Now, there's a caveat there, and I've seen this a time or two. You get one of these little kids that doesn't weigh anything, they're 12 or 13 years old, and they've got a ton of experience, and they're a real hand, and you have them train your Shetland till it's broke. Now you've got a real valuable item. But that's just such a rare thing, you know. It doesn't happen that often. So I prefer to get a horse that has something that can, you know, if I needed to, I could get on this mare and I could ride clear back to Richfield. This horse it's an Icelandic horse. It's a Viking horse. They're designed to carry a 300-pound Viking into battle. They can handle a 200-pound tub of goo like me, no trouble at all. Okay, so that's why that's the perks to horses like this, and why I use Icelandic crosses in all the horses for my kids. Turn around and look up here. See those two horses there? He's a polo player and only respects a horse with real tenacity and athleticism. I sold him 2 Icelandic crosses. Both horses there are out of my stallion Scout, and you have never seen more beautiful horses in your life. And I don't care how big the adult you put on that horse is. That horse right there is Prince. He's the son of Scout. And somebody should remind me to tell that story someday. That is an unbelievable story. David, you mind riding him over here so that they can see a product of Scout? Scout was gelded this year after 15 years of good service. And this is what he produced. And, 200 of them. How can you beat something like that? That horse served me so well for so long. Now, Mary is not related to Scout, but yeah, I lied. Mary's dad and Scout's dad is the same, but she's not out of Scout. She's out of Scout's dad. But look at the fine horses, and they keep on, this much hay. They'll go all day long. For what you feed and what you get, these crosses that I have made with Icelandic blood, and someday if somebody wants to know, I'll discuss the entire philosophy behind it. It took me 40 years to arrive at this conclusion. It's absolutely vital what you cross on an Icelandic. You can't just cross them on willy-nilly, whatever. You got to know what kind of blood, what kind of conformation, what kind of the whole thing. Anyway, we got all these horses and dogs that are going out today. Many of them new dogs, first time ever into a canyon. We've done a ton of times, and I believe we've done a ride here. I think there's a video of us here. We broke 4 or 5 studs the same day here, and got a bunch of people commenting on, it was like Congress. It was totally split. Some people were so excited to see us breaking horses the old way. Other people were saying, how come you don't, why don't you get with the times, learn how to train horses like the new folk? Well, we can do all that. We train horses every which way, but we like out in this country to do it how we want to do it, and so we can. This is America. One of these days, if the guys on these cameras want, I will give a whole clinic on the best way in a round pen and with all the little training aids to train a horse perfectly and so mellow everybody thinks that he just got out of a session with Dr. Phil. But most of the time we're a little bit rough and ready because we got stuff to do and we got places to go, and there's ways to get to the same place without sewing every stitch. So come with us today and you get to see some fall color. This is the number of people we started out with, and add 4. See those up there? Those 4 don't know where the trail is, but they'll get with us. As long as we have the same number when we come back, we should have a successful ride. Looks like the hard frost has hit these trees. Those are usually golden cottonwoods, but when they go brown like that and then they start to fall, it means the frost has gotten to them. There's Dixie. She's on her first ride. Good girl. Come on, Dixie. Learn to love it. The Indian riding here. This is Fremont culture, they say. Did you see that, Mara? And then right in here, look at this. Can you see the Indian riding there? I like this when the guy has a snake coming out of the top of his head, goes clear up and has a little tongue on it, and then these really perfect circles. And you see the one guy that's got the whole outfit on with the necklace, and a perfect circle in his hand. There's a bunch more over there. Mara, see these right behind me? Go right in behind the mule.
That's a geocache.
Let's see. This little one, I don't know if this is the Indian with a snake coming out of his head, or I honestly don't know what they were trying to get at there. But it's pretty cool stuff just to know that they were here trying to express themselves. Josh is trying to get this little black horse to climb up in that tree with him, and he's refusing because he wouldn't even get in his horse trailer. Just kidding. Teaching Dixie how to get up there. Oh, look what's happened. So last time I was here, I sat in the crotch of that tree, and this tree has entirely broken and now died since I was here last. Can you believe that? Climb up there. I got her.
I'm barely.
This is Outlaw. Outlaw's a horse that I helped breed and train and sell, and he's one of their very favorites. Those are dogs that were both bred at my house, and now they live in Boulder. This is out of Prince. Horse that we bred there.
Yeah,
and
it's beautiful.
This other baby is out of Prince. And that little baby up in the tree is out of me.
Little backyard polo going with Ivan's my oldest son, and we've got 2 younger sons.
That's a pretty big tree, huh, Mara?
Yeah, how old is it?
I don't know, but it's a little older than it was last time I saw it, I can tell you that. They used that branch held up for years and years, and just this year it broke. So
Just this year?
just this year. Last year I took a picture right where you're at with my dog, and then sometime between probably last winter, a big heavy snow load, but it was already way out there. See if that black horse will fit under that arch. Go right through there. Try not to scrub your saddle. There you go. Now come back the other way. Stop right there. Whoop, right there. That's good. Ta-da! Mounted from the tree. Into the canyon. A few of the leaves are staying on. The dog's loving it. Horses loving it. Everybody's having a good time. How's Mary doing? Is she galloping for you?
Yeah.
You staying on okay?
The whole way.
Are you staying on okay? Are your stirrup lengths the way you like them?
Yeah.
Looks like everything's just right. We lost the whole rest of them. Let's lose them some more. What do you say?
Whoa, look up, Dad.
Oh, it's going to get upper and upper here in a minute. You're going to love the next one. Come on, Dixie. Good girl. Good girl, Dixie. Come on, you gray donkey. Keep up. Yeah. Good work. Come on, Dixie. Good girl. Training my mule, my little girl, my dog all at the same time. Good girl, Dixie. Cliffs just start getting bigger and bigger. That old tree's had it. Last of the line for that cottonwood. There's my little outlaw partner back there. The dogs are starting to work together. That's good. Look at Dixie go. In the beginning, we couldn't get her to come, and now we can't keep up with her. There's the big arch. Can't wait to see my little daughter's face when she sees this big arch. Look at her on her horse. Is that beautiful or what? What do you see? She hasn't seen it yet. She will in a second. This arch is big enough to park 20 semi-trucks under. One of them. Isn't that a beautiful little stream right there? I promised her I would show her some Indian drawings that were as tall as she is, and I'm pretty sure that they are. Look at the sun's perfectly on them. This used to be a wedding ceremonial place. As I was told by the natives that still live in this area, that they used to have big parties here with all the Indians, and they would have weddings here and other powwows. And it shows the dancers there. A lot of them have been ruined and messed up, but pretty neat, huh? There's a few more over here.
Circles. Why do they have circles?
Can you see some more here with the little Indian, and then people? Can't even imagine, but it looks like people have come in and desecrated them. You can see some parts of it here still left, and they come in and they just mash them and mess with them.
Yeah, you can see they colored on the wall. Pencils.
Rolling, rolling, though your voice is swollen. I got a cough, but I don't care at all. I don't need my voice to enjoy this.